All right, we must be. Let's see. Are we live? Hey, we are indeed.
Excellent.
Cool. Let me go check out the channel. YouTube has made it so daggone, like their menu system makes no sense.
Yeah.
You want to go to your channel? It's on the right side of the screen. If you're in your creator studio, it's on the left side of your screen.
That's not what I meant to do.
It's dumb. It's so dumb. Why did they do that?
Because they're not very smart people.
Well, anyways, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing. Beyond that, I can't say. Tired.
Oh. You and
Very
every
tired.
red-blooded American man in this country. Although I would love to see a cold-blooded American man. You know, the shape-shifting lizard people. Oh, can you see my puppy dog in the background? Hey, Gingy. Hey, little sweetheart. And her little sweeter. If I have to run off for any reason, it's because Atticus is in the other room, and you know,
We'll keep this short regardless.
I want to make sure he's not screaming or bleeding or choking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he sounds all right. So all right. Oh, hey, why did 666? Yeah, don't feel like you got to hang around. This is just a quick little update. We wanted to let everybody know why there isn't an episode this week. Plus, we haven't posted anything this week, so just it's been one of those things.
Long.
They're kind of killing you at your job, but
yeah,
you know, good news is that that's coming to close soon, and other good news, better job.
Yep,
which is exciting. But yeah, so we're kind of in a pinch. Chris has been working long hours. I've been working long hours, and I'm leaving today for a conference out of town with the family. Mm-hmm. So hence why we can't get together. And that's why we wanted to do just a quick little update here to let everybody know. Also, y'all can see that I have a brand new cheap Chinese gaming headset. That's amazing, actually. The bass in it is incredible.
Oh, that's place, yeah. Understandable. I don't know what it is about this weekend, but I guess everybody's busy. So, not that bad. Just wanted to make a little quick shout out and say, you know, we haven't forgotten you. We're not disappeared into the ether.
I'll tell you what, man, it's a feast day, and I'm drinking tea like it's the end of the world. This is my like third or fourth cup so far today.
Herbal or caffeinated?
Oh, caffeinated.
Oh God.
The first one was Earl Grey. The last couple have been jasmine tea, which is green tea, so it's not as caffeinated. But I haven't had caffeine all week, so I'm feeling a little jazzed from it.
Well,
but anyways, we need to do another walkabout this week at some point. The weather is finally warmed up.
Yeah, and I'll have time, which is fantastic. Hopefully, nothing explodes.
Yeah, we need to make sure to check out some new places so we're not always walking by a busy road.
I told you. Did I tell you about what happened Friday?
I don't think so.
Yeah, the best part about working the last shift is that if anybody else messes up, then I get left with the. Oh, is that a huge baby pin? No, that's a diffuser.
Infuser. It is a tea infuser. Here, I'll try and show up at the camera. So you see how there's packed jasmine teas. Wow, that is really high def. Cool. Those are jasmine green tea leaves with jasmine flowers in there. It's delicious. And the brand I buy comes in a yellow tin. It's from China. It's cheap, but amazing. Once you have good loose leaf tea, I just hate to be a snob about it. I'm not a snob about like anything else, but good tea. You need good loose leaf tea.
Yeah,
it's like head and shoulders better. Like I grew up drinking like hot Lipton tea bags, and nothing against Lipton. It makes fine iced tea, but as hot tea, there's so much better options out there.
Yeah, no, the somebody missed something. Without going into too much details, it could end up exploding. So, but I did my due diligence. Just means that because I'm the last person there, I'm the one that gets to contact the powers that be and tell them about it, and tell my bosses about it, and aggregate all the data about it, and then.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So you inherited someone else's mistake.
Not mistake. Extraordinarily poor choice. It was a willful decision. And it was done so pretty much offhandedly, as far as I can tell. And
I
he was
got
like, oh, okay, well, this will be taken care of. Not my problem. Well, unfortunately, come Monday, tomorrow, it is going to be his problem.
Yeah. Well,
immensely.
Well, that's a shame. Hey, man, we all come across, potential fireable offenses. The whole idea is with your job is that people make mistakes, but you always try and make them or decisions that don't impact and hurt others.
Well, that's the reason. Last place. That's the reason that I go into work like an hour early every day. Just because if I don't, then the fires don't get put out in time.
Yeah.
If I'm there early, I can usually mitigate before I get there enough for it to be a bigger problem than it needs to be.
Yeah, my business is like all fires. No, it's just
fireplaces.
No, it's just like everything seems like a crisis. And I get it, but the thing is, like, you become kind of immune to it because you deal with it every day, all the time. So that's the one downside is that there are times where it's intensely stressful.
Oh yeah, and you just get so stuck up on these little things.
Oh, little details. It'll be a $200 little something, which in the grand scheme of a multiple $100,000 thing, $200 is nothing. But
oh yeah,
for people that are squeezing blood out of turnips, it's just.
Well, that's how dealerships work with car accessories. Is they charge you $1,000 for a floor mat.
Yep.
Because you're already buying the car for $20,000. What's another $1,000?
Well, the other thing is too, some of those things are priced inconveniently. They're priced to keep you from getting them because they just don't want to have to bother special ordering things,
Oh yeah, definitely. That's true.
You could get the aluminum alloy rims or the chrome finish thing, but those will be on back order for 6 weeks.
Well, that's how it was when I needed to get the truck fixed because my truck had a gasket fail and
they kept pricing it because they just didn't want to work on it because
all the mechanic shops around are like, well, it's gonna need a new engine, which isn't wrong. I may have spoken about this before. It's not exactly a wrong diagnosis. With it having milkshake in the oil pan and the sump as the technical term. But it also whenever they would say, oh, it needs a new engine, it'd be like, well, how much is it? They're like, oh, it's $5,000 for the engine. And it's like, well, no. I know people who work at dealerships who can price who can actually price engines internally, and it's like, gosh, how much was it? Like $1,800, $1,600.
I mean, Chris,
it's not great, but
I did that with my photography business. I was so uninterested in photographing weddings, like I hate them, that I price so high that nobody wants me to do it. I've done a few of them, and they pay well, but the stress and the problems and man, you didn't get this shot, or you didn't have coverage for this, or the lighting wasn't right, and it wasn't perfect for my perfect day. Forget that.
Yeah, I understand.
When somebody asks now, I'm like $1,200, $1,200.
Hey, you should tell them is $300 and $100 for every complaint.
Oh yeah. No one would sign that contract. It wouldn't hold up.
It's like there's a sign that more people need at their business that says, "I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you."
That's
an interesting one. Also, gosh, I made this one when I worked retail. I actually worked at a copy shop and made one as a joke and put it in the manager's office, which one of the managers freaked out about and said, poor planning on your part does not constitute a emergency on my part.
Yep.
And of course, when you work in retail copy shops, the one thing you have is people who come in who need it right now.
Correct.
Because they didn't plan ahead.
Of course.
So
I need 400 copies of this in triplicate, laminated, and I needed it an hour ago.
Oh, I've had people like that. I had people come in and they had they wanted this book and they wanted it. It was just loose. I mean, it was just a single sheet. It was like 30 pages, double sided, and they wanted it book bound, spiral bound little booklet. And I said, okay, it'll take us a while to do because we have all this. We have it was Christmas season, and we're the only place that does double-sided Christmas cards.
Yep.
Or office places are the only places that do double-sided Christmas cards. So they were like, yeah, we need these in 30 minutes. It's like, that ain't gonna happen. It's not. And they're like, but we need 30 of them. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I did the math real quick, and I'm like, my machine can't print that quickly. It would be impossible. Like, it's actually physically impossible for me to meet your demands. It just is. There's no way to do it. And they were like, well, can anyone else do it? And I'm like, probably not, but I can give you the number to a whole bunch of places if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you feel bad for people when they're in a pinch. I mean, I totally feel bad. I answer emails from clients later than I should all the time because I remember what it was like to be in their shoes. And I know how worrying and stressful it is. And so I'm doing everything I can to try and mitigate that, to make it easier.
On one hand, I will, unless it's a case where it's very clearly oversight and intentional neglect or just poor planning. At which point I'm usually like, yeah, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bunch of people here who need things very quickly. Like the people who order the Christmas cards, who order it like weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll help you I'll help you as much as you need to go. But the people who order it the week of Christmas, who come in and they're like sweating profusely and they're like, but we need it now. It's like, no, you needed it 2 weeks ago. You forgot about it or just didn't care, and now you're here trying to make it my problem.
Yeah, precisely.
It's not.
Yeah. Well, and they're just
looking. A machine that can run that fast sounds like a fire hazard. Partially. They just start making mistakes.
I was going to say, if they're not functioning, if they haven't been maintained properly, sure. I've seen plenty of videos of those high production printers catching fire. I mean, think about it. There's paper dust and hot elements, and I mean, it's a grand.
Hot element doesn't begin to describe. They have halogen bulbs in there that rapidly heat up metal to hundreds of degrees.
Sure.
And the production scale ones are supposed to do that in a fraction of a second.
Yep. Absolutely.
They usually have multiple halogen bulbs at various points. They design them, all the companies that make them, they design them in such a way to where they do not explode and they do not catch fire if they can help it. Yeah. But like you said, you have paper dust, and not to mention the fact that toner is resin. Yeah,
of course. And it just burns like hellfire. Well, think about it. That's why old granaries used to burn down all the time, because you'd have all the flour powder, you know?
Mm-hmm. There was an interesting television miniseries on the BBC called North and South. It was kind of going through the problems of the rise of the industrial age in Britain, and did so from kind of a fantastical and almost romantic setting. There was romance in the thing. But one of the things they did is they kind of portrayed one guy as being bad because he walked in and he saw some guy smoking a pipe in the middle of it was a cotton processing facility is what he owned. And so there's cotton dust everywhere.
Yeah.
And the thing that people don't realize is one thing that makes something explode is actually all of the little things catching each other on fire in an accelerated rate.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so somebody
it takes very little thermal mass for them to ignite.
And then you have all of them igniting each other, and it's a chain reaction. It's a bomb. It really is. And so when he caught the guy smoking, he threw it on the ground, stomped on it, and started beating the shit out of him. And then of course the uppity Southern belle, because it's Britain, but it's true. She was like, "How dare he?
Yeah,
he struck that poor man."
Well, have you heard of like sawdust bombs, where you essentially have like, you know, an element, a burning element, and a container with sawdust in it, and you use an air cannon and blast it up in the air, and it creates this huge fireball.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. It'd be probably safer pyrotechnics than gasoline.
Oh yeah, because you don't have the volatile gases. I think that's one of the things that it can be used for. But anyways, I know you've got other projects that you want to get to today, and we just wanted to have a quick little check-in so that y'all knew we were alive and that there is going to be more content coming, just not this weekend. It just kind of got busy.
Yep.
So thank you as always for tuning in and for following us and for sharing the channel. We really appreciate it. And we hope that you all have a great St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Catch y'all later.
Drink much and wear green.
Yes,
Unless
sir.
you're underage. Then only wear green.
See y'all next time.